And we are live, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back. Thank you guys so much for subscribing, liking the channel. Welcome back once more. I've had a couple family problems for a little bit, but I'm excited to get back into it. I've been in the streets when I can, in the basketball streets, running some drafts on my free time. Got in a couple of slows we can get into. But today I want to address the bigger elephant in the room, which comes from the, I think, most prominent or the biggest category of best ball, and the biggest, I think, thing that the outlier that is coming out from the Sims, from Pat Crane, Davis Maddock, and all of those fantasy football YouTubers and subscribers. That being said, what I mean is that they are having lots of Sims come out with JJ Zachariason saying that 3 QBs is much viable for fantasy football. And I'm going to try and pull up a quote that, or just a thought that I had expressed last night on Twitter. I was just up a little bit later. And so maybe a couple of you saw it, some of you did not. But I do want to share it, and I think it's kind of goes along with the Twitter stuff, or the fantasy football 3 QB versus elite QB. Let's see. Is that it? No, it's not it. Give me 1 second. I'm trying to get my Twitter on Chrome. I have it on Safari. Let's see. Let's go to, what is it? Passwords. Not passwords. General. Autofill passwords. Dang it. I'm going to have to try and get it on the, well, let's see. User is the Rafael Ibarra. My password incorrect. What is it? Sorry, guys. I am so sorry. This is slightly unprofessional of me. Let's see. No, it says incorrect. That is my Twitter or my X. Log in. Where is my password on this thing? Home screen, lock screen. based on passwords, no private. The settings changed. I got a new phone a couple months ago. The settings changed. It no longer has like the passwords per se. Probably under general. Passwords is there. This is irritating. I'm gonna pull it up on Safari. That'll be easier. We're gonna hop into draft though later on. Let's see. Profile. Okay, so let's see. Basically, I'm so sorry, guys. Let's start over real quick. Basically, I said I'm gonna just read it to you. I would like to share it, but I can't share it. So I said someone run The Sims for advanced rates, most likely to win a large field contest like BBM with an elite QB versus 3 quarterback. The most quarterbacks. The more I think about 3 QB, the more I pass on the elite quarterback. Pass first elite QB and elite quarterback upside swings are both priced lower in 2025 than 2024 compared to elite QB being priced the same as it was in 2024. The bet on pass first elite quarterback and elite quarterback upside swings is much less risky in 2025 than 2024. The icing on the cake is last year was one of the greatest quarterback drafts in the last decade. Pair that with upgrades at head coaching positions, another year in the league, and upgrades at the skill positions for the pass first elite QBs and elite quarterback upside swings. If things break right, this could be the ticket to winning in fantasy. Basically what I was saying, and I'll hop in a draft right now. I'm gonna log in to my best ball overlay portfolio, then we'll go over that after we rip a draft. But basically what I was amounting to was that I am passing more so this year on the elite QB than I was last year. Now last year I was taking dabbles, and I think this is the best way to approach fantasy football, especially in BBM. is you take an elite QB and you also pair it with two other later round quarterbacks. Basically, try to form your draft allocation in the 18 rounders, and I'll try to show everybody how to do that. And I'll try to do 2 drafts, like 2 to 3 drafts is what I'm thinking. But with elite QB last year, I was drafting elite QBs: Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, and Jalen Hurts early in about the 4th round. Then I would grab, let's say, just to make things easier for us, a Bo Nix, where he goes in about the 8th, 9th round. That's the kind of elite QB upside swing I was talking about. And then we go ahead and pick up another late round QB like Bryce Young, Geno Smith, Sam Darnold, Aaron Rodgers later on, where you can get enough where you can get 3 quarterbacks. You can get the 3 quarterback swing and an elite quarterback. Now, drafting an elite quarterback while also drafting 3 quarterbacks, I think you're bypassing on 3 positions this year, which is why I'm doing less of that this year than I have prior, than last year. Passing on the elite QB this year, and I'm gonna do elite QB just to show you guys what I'm doing if I do elite QB 3 quarterback builds this year. But this year you're passing on what we really know now that we didn't know last year. Those elite tight ends in Trey McBride, if you get a falling Trey McBride, or if you're at the back half of the board like I am right now, Brock Bowers, who I like, before pick 20. I think he deserves to be in the first round, especially probably next year. I have him ranked at 16. I have him over Nico Collins and Ashton Jeanty. But you're passing more so on this year than last year. The established elite tight end. You're also passing on a hero running back or an anchor running back, and then a second or even a third or even possibly a second. I'm gonna go Amon-Ra because I think Brian Thomas should come back around. And if he doesn't, that's fine. You're passing on a second or third or even possibly a second wide receiver that is very vital to have, and he goes Brian Thomas, which is fine. I'm gonna go Achan here. You're really passing on that second to third if you go anchor wide receiver or hero running back or hero or anchor running back in the first 4 rounds and hero quarterback. I think last year we were able to do it because I think there are a lot of quarterbacks actually priced up. Whereas we have a quarterback window this year, which is actually a larger window than I realized that there was last year. So that's why I'm not really going for the elite QB build, and especially not really going for the elite QB type build that I like to go for, which is elite QB plus 2 other quarterbacks. Now, I think the Sims will say that doing that is actually good, good for an advanced rate perspective, and because if you do it correctly, you do have that elite quarterback. I'm saying it's going to be bad actually for draft or the purposes of capital allocation, because you're missing on, like I said, the tight end, the elite wide receiver, and or a possible wide receiver that can jump up into the first 2 rounds next year. A running back that can be a league winner, so on and so forth. So I'm actually passing more so on more or less Josh Allen than the Lamar and Jaden Daniels, because I can kind of see how they get there on pass volume. Even though I think Lamar's, I actually wanted Josh on this team just to show you guys that it could work. But Josh goes. Getting Lamar actually with Terry would be nice. I mean, Lamar here with Zay in round 4 or 5. But I mean, like, Terry and Jaden here at this turn would be pretty nice. Once JSN goes, usually Terry goes there after. I'm going to grab Terry McLaurin here. I should have one of the elite quarterbacks coming back around to me. Lamar goes, so he shouldn't grab Jaden Daniels. Did he go Derrick Henry? No, he didn't. So he went Omarion Hampton. I'm going to grab Jaden Daniels. Now, this is a perfect elite quarterback build. And you have, I think, 2 very viable wide receivers. I think if I wanted to play the upside, I should have went Brian Thomas in the first round. I just like the overall amount of targets Amon-Ra St. Brown is going to get, especially as at the round 1 draft capital in round 1. And Terry McLaurin with the touchdown volume, and I think could regress a little bit, but I think his target volume could go up. What I'm going to try and shoot for is getting Jared Goff and Tua. That could be difficult. But I'm actually going to shoot for a couple wide receivers here. Now, this is a very hard range of wide receivers, especially in the back half, 5-6 turn. Not really into a lot of the receivers here. If Zay falls, that would be quite nice, actually. And I would snipe the Lamar drafter on Zay, just because I think he was one of my favorite round 5 picks. Him and Waddle are actually very different players, in my opinion. Zay is the clear number 1 alpha wide receiver. If he can just land in, now he's not a perfect underdog pick, which is why I think he goes in the 5th round. But if he gets Devontae Smith type touchdowns, I think he is an awesome click in the 5th round with Lamar Jackson. And especially as a 3rd, even 4th wide receiver, if you're not going elite quarterback, I think getting Zay Flowers there is a nice pick. Rome Odunze was actually one of the picks that I was trying to go for. Getting him sniped from us makes it very difficult. Hunter goes, Zay goes. This is a range I really don't like. ADP suggests Chris Olave, Juwan Jennings. Not my favorite click, but there's a couple of. I do like Jacoby Myers a lot more than ADP suggests. I have seen him actually come back at the, what is it, the 7-8 turn a lot to me. I don't know if I want to reach for that. DeAndre Swift is a pick I am pretty into at cost. To go for that reach, James Conner is here. I'm going to go for the Travion Henderson click here. Let's just go with the Jaden Daniels is awesome. Let's go with a double stack. I haven't got that too much. Terry McLaurin and Deebo Samuel. Maybe they switch off weeks. But Swift goes, Connor goes. This is actually a pretty strong room compared to, like, I think what I would say my rankings would suggest. Rome going pretty early, Mixon going early-ish, Walker and Chuba going early-ish. Who else? Judy, I think he's an okay click. Myers going earlier than expected. But I do have 4 wide receivers, the anchor or the hero running back, and then the elite quarterback. I don't feel too I don't feel like I'm struggling too much at the wide receiver position. However, Deebo and Juwan are not picks that I'm usually comfortable making. I could go Purdy, I could go Goff. That would be one of the clicks at the wide receiver position. I usually like Sam Laporta as a faller, would have been nice to get. Let's see. I think another running back. Maybe we can hold on running back. Possibly another wide receiver or tight end here would be nice. I'm pretty into Aaron Jones at cost. I think they're going to run the ball a little bit more. I have Dobbins way ahead of ADP. He's going to come back later on. Then I have a lot of quarterbacks here. This is called the pass first elite QBs, or what I like to call pass first elite QBs. Jaden Reed was actually one of the picks I was going to go for. Dang it. Let's go with Buka. Take a younger running wide receiver here. I forget Ayuk is another one. Stephon goes. I like Aaron Jones. I could go Hawkinson. I could go tight ends later. It'll be one of these guys. I'm gonna go Jones. Maybe Ayuk falls. Ayuk goes right after. So I might not be able to get Brock Purdy on the way back this way. Probably be able to get Goff. Could go get JJ McCarthy. Probably not though. Where did Addison go? Addison went at the 7th. He's falling a bit. Jaden Reed falling. Crazy. Golden falling a little bit, just like a half round is nice to see. Want to be overexposed to the Ibuka. Baker goes. At quarterback, I have Jaden Daniels. Running back, I have Devon Achane, Aaron Jones. Wide receiver, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Terry McLaurin, Juwan Jennings, Deebo Samuel, Emeka Ibuka, and no tight ends yet. I think this is an okay draft. We got actually the bring back with Minnesota Detroit, week 17, Aaron Jones, Amon-Ra St. Brown. We can throw on some Dallas pieces that I like. We have the Emeka Ibuka, Devon Achane, bring back week 17. This is the range of quarterbacks where I call the upside swing quarterback window. Bo Nix taking another leap. Caleb Williams hopefully taking a leap with the new pass game coordinator. Kyler Murray to some extent with Marvin Harrison Jr., Patrick Mahomes. Rashee Rice is getting possibly suspended this upcoming season, but with Xavier Worthy taking another step, Justin Fields in a new environment, maybe. I'm going to take J.K. Dobbins. I think he's going to have a good amount of volume. One of these quarterbacks would be nice for me here. Could possibly go. Oh, okay. Do I want Purdy? Do I want Goff? Let's go Purdy because I know what I want to do later on. There's a running back that I kind of am thinking more about because I'm fading CMC. Isaac Guerrero maybe comes back to me at 134. I think after Purdy goes, really not into Purdy at cost. Well, I think I have him ahead of ADP. I take him slightly behind ADP, get him stacked up. But I think about the range after Justin Fields. I think it's difficult. I think it's a second range of guys that can be elite QBs passing the football. However, we're more skeptical of their situation. Brock Purdy, Dak Prescott, Jared Goff. But I think those guys are fun quarterbacks to mix in. Drake May, I think he's a little bit overvalued. Where do I have him at? I don't think his offense is going to be that great. I have him at 126, which isn't terrible. ADP at 115. He's climbing. He goes at 121. I think Herbert is very undervalued. I think he should be going where Nix goes. I think he's going to rush a bit more. That's more the Harbaulian type. They like that type of quarterback. The next draft we will do actually something similar to this build, possibly hit later. I don't really do this quite often with quarterbacks. I usually have a tight end by now. I think 210 here would be interesting. He's actually my favorite pick here. And then Isaac Gorendo here. I'm going to grab Jonnu later on. I could grab Tua later on. Likely goes. Interesting. I'm going to grab Isaac Gorendo. That's why I grabbed Brock Purdy. I'm pretty good at running back. I think I am pretty set at wide receiver. I can smash tight end. I think there is a good pocket of tight ends coming back to me. If Jonnu comes back, I think he is very undervalued. I have him at 115. I thought he was going in the correct range. And I think Aaron Rodgers is a fine quarterback with him. I can also get possibly Jake Ferguson on the way back, Mike Gesicki, Brendan Strange, Tavion Sanders, Zach Ertz really bet on Jaden Daniels, Cade Otton bet on Baker. I can add Theo Johnson and go with the rookie Jackson Dart. I can go Bryce Young later on and get Jatavion Sanders. There's a lot of quarterbacks here. I'm really not. I like this year. I like getting done early with running backs, especially pre-camp. Now we're getting into camp. Now we can start taking those 0 RB type hits later on. But I think, like I said, draft capital, I think I allocated it pretty well. I think I'm pretty consolidated actually on my offenses. So San Francisco and Washington really don't hit. Then I think this team could be kind of not doing well. But I like the team. I like the team a lot. Dallas Goedert goes at 148. Top of my rankings, I have Jonnu Smith. Tua would be a play. Geno, Bryce Young could be a play. Tank Bigsby. Bryce goes. I think this is definitely a double tap a tight end. Maybe I think we can get wide receiver later on. If Tua falls, maybe we'll grab Tua. The guy in back of me had Tua goes. So we can get Aaron Rodgers if this guy doesn't take Jonnu. He probably will take a quarterback. Yes. So I'm going to grab Jonnu. I think he's a fine tight end 1. Then I'm going to grab... I can grab Cam Ward and get Chig later. I can grab Tank. Then I'm going to grab Gesicki. I like him around here. He's a bring back on Miami week 16. And I think with those two tight ends, not terrible, but I mean, not great, but I don't think they're terrible by any means at all. I think we can add one more tight end or possibly another tight end. I think we're pretty good. We can probably stop at quarterback here. We can probably stop at running back here. And then we can add a couple more dart throws at wide receiver. But I mean, I go with Amon-Ra St. Brown. Then at quarterback, I have Jaden Daniels and Brock Purdy. Then at running back, Devon Achane, Aaron Jones, J.K. Dobbins, Baishal Tootin, Isaac Guerendo. And then at wide receiver, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Terry McLaurin, Juwan Jennings, Deebo Samuel, and Emeka Egbuka. And at tight end, Jonnu Smith, and Mike Gesicki. I think it's a fair team. I think this team can compete. Already projected points 200. I like to look at the projected points. I think it's a good indicator. I think underdog is pretty on par with that. Like I said, I have upside swings with Baishal Tootin, Isaac Guerendo at running back. My early starters, Aaron Jones, J.K. Dobbins, and Devon Achane. Quarterbacks look awesome. Tight ends probably slightly not great. Rodgers comes back. I think he's probably the click here. We're going to go Raj. Cade Otton is here too. Cade Otton could be the click. Jalen Lane I can do later on. That'd be actually nice. I think this is a fun team. I'm going to go Cade Otton here. No bye week overlap at the tight end position. I get another Tampa Bay Buccaneer. Yeah, so right now we're staying at a 6-3-5-5-3. This will probably be a 3-5. Probably 7-3. If not, we could do like a 3-5-6-4, not opposed to it, just because we did tight ends late. I do like to get tight ends that could possibly land in the end zone more so, which is why I like to get tight ends a little bit earlier than what I did here. And if not, just make sure like the tight ends bye weeks don't overlap so you can use them all. at the same time. But I think running back we're good. Wide receiver we can add. Quarterback we're good. We're just wide receiver, tight end through the next 2 rounds. I'm thinking the top of my ranks, Jatavion Sanders should have been nice on this team. We can go like an Elijah Arroyo, AJ Barner. Ben Sennett is kind of like pushing it because I'm going to go Jalen Lane. But I do have Debo and Terry on this team. So I don't know if I do want to go Jalen Lane. Troy Franklin is a fun click I like to do. Jermaine Burton, Naylor. Roman Wilson with Rodgers. I'm going to go with oh shoot. Oh, I got Troy Franklin. That's fine. He's cool. Terrence Furry. AJB. Malik Washington. I'm going to go Malik Washington. I think that was fine. I think my tight ends are good enough. I'm kind of betting on Big Mike and Chris Godwin getting hurt, kind of getting those ancillary pieces in Cade Otton and Emeka Buka. Betting on Malik Washington, the new era, and Devon Achane in Miami. Deeb, and then betting on Washington to be awesome. I think I would have rather grabbed Malik Washington instead of Troy Franklin and then grabbed like another tight end possibly. But I think the squad came out pretty nice. Kind of like what I like to do with an elite quarterback. I think it was viable to do. Now if Jaden went, that would have been pretty sad. I would have probably pivoted to possibly like a Tetero McMillan, like Xavier Worthy, and got another wide receiver there, and then went like instead of Juwan or Debo, running back, and DeAndre Swift, James Conner, Henderson. But I think the squad turned out pretty nice, actually. The final squad is a 3-5-7-3. Jaden Daniels, Brock Purdy, Aaron Rodgers at quarterback, running back Devon Achane, Aaron Jones, J.K. Dobbins, Byshell Tutin, and Isaac Gorindo. At wide receiver, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Terry McLaurin, Juwan Jennings, Deebo Samuel, Emeka Egbuka, Troy Franklin, and Malik Washington. And at tight end, Jonnu Smith, Mike Gesicki, and Cade Otton. I like the team. I really like the team, actually. That was like elite quarterback Let's see. That was a puppy 2. Yeah, that was, like I was saying, that was like elite quarterback. I grabbed a pass first elite quarterback that could be an elite quarterback. I'm saying he does pretty well with Juwan. And then we have some, and then CMC possibly gets hurt, and then we have Garendo. Then we have Aaron Rodgers passing the football with Jonnu, I think, instead of Troy Franklin, possibly. We should have went Roman Wilson. I couldn't get Malik Washington. I thought of him later because of Achan. The only thing I would change would probably be the last 2 rounds. I liked what I did throughout the draft, though. I liked the Debo click. Like Debo slightly a bit more, not off injury, more so off a kind of breathing thing. I like him going to the new squad. I like Jayden Daniels. I think he's an elevator. I like it. I like it a lot. 2,800 points projected. And then I got the late round quarterback as well with Aaron Rodgers. Hopefully he doesn't like snap another Achilles. I'm gonna call 07. What is today? The 17th. This is Washington. Let's see, San Francisco, and who else? Miami. Who else did I grab? And Tampa. Tampa was the other bet. And Denver. Tampa Bay and Denver. Can I squeeze YouTube on here? YT, yes. Perfect. Perfect, perfect. I like it. Oh, no. Okay, okay. Let's make some little Dalmatian picks. Mom said that we have to go to sleep early because we have to get up early tomorrow. We'll probably be back then. Explain a little bit more tomorrow night. Let's make some little Dalmatian picks and then I'll show you guys tomorrow kind of what I'm not doing with elite tight ends. Ooh, this is one of my favorite teams that I have. Oh, actually, no, not this one. But this one's okay. Puka, Lad, JSN, and Big Mike. Awesome. Let's go with. Oh my God, Zay is here still though. Yeah, let's throw him on. I can't pass up Zay Flowers, man. Even if it has ADP, I'll piss yellow. Next click, we got a 1130 Allen, Gibbs, Ladd, Terry, Zay. This could be a Jacoby Myers click, a Debo click. Well, we can go Shakir on the way back around. Let's go Travion. Let's just roll with my ranks. Here we got a balanced approach, 0-2-2-0. We are at the end. the 11th spot. Wait, let's try to go with man. Waddle makes it back. I don't have a lot of Waddle. Let's bite the Waddle stuff. Didn't like the click past ADP. I think it's fine. Week 17 with Big Mike there. We also have A-Chan here, which is cool. Don't have this combination a lot with Kyron, Big Mike. Trying to get more exposed to Kyron and Big Mike. This real balanced 0 wide receivers through 3. We went, I was going to call him BJ. Bijan Robinson at 3. Bowers at 22. And then Lamar. Man. Let's grab Xavier Worthy. Hopefully Zay comes back. Hopefully Worthy's a wide receiver 1. Man, if Zay comes back, bro. It would be fun. The guy at 1 could probably go Zay, though, man. That would not be fun. Let me click Zay on there. If not, I would probably have to go with another upside swing. I could go Cortland. Cortland's not terrible. Then Pickens, Hunter. Just follow my rankings. Let's go draft another Dalmatian. This one I have a 1-1-2-0 build from another 11 hole. Daniels, A-Chan, Nico, and JSN. Ridley is still available. I do have, yeah. We'll go Ridley here. We'll go Debo, the next pick. We can get Cam Ward later. I like that. That's fun. These I could probably do when I get up, but it's okay. I got a 0-1-2-1 from the 6 hole. Gibbs, Tyreek, JSN, and George Kittle. Not really grabbing a lot of Kittle. Was grabbing a lot of him in the 5th. Climbs to the early 4th. I have elite tight end, elite running back. No elite quarterbacks left. Let's grab. My rank says. Damn, I could go Waddle. Really bet on. Man, but with Tyreek, kind of don't want to do that. Rome's climbing a little bit. Let's check best ball overlay, how much I have Chuba and Gibbs, two players I like a lot. Two teams. Okay. But I'm very underweight Travis Hunter. I need a third core wide receiver. Same bye week though. Let's go Chuba. Let's go Chuba. I think we could find more value at wide receiver later on. It's 3 more left. Distance from the 7th hole, we got Gibbs, Mixon, Ladd, Mike Evans, DK, Kenan, DeAndre Swift, Myers. I like Myers. Addison's a faller. Juwan Jennings trying to get more of. Houston, Minnesota. Man, this would be an Addison click. Cleveland, Detroit, actually week 15 with DK. Have Gibbs also. Let's go Laporta, man. I love that click. One of these guys will fall. Probably Johnny wouldn't have. But I'm fine with the next set of wide receivers coming down to me. Pretty set at running back. Yeah. I'm pretty cool there. I mean, that wide receiver room isn't great. Could have probably got more points later on at tight end, but I'm a sucker for Laporta in the 7th, 8th round. From the 2 hole, we went Bijan, then we went T, Big Mike, pulled up Big Mike, Xavier Worley, Fall, and Travis Hunter. This wide receiver room looks pretty good. Let's snipe Joe Shiesty. Give me a Joe Shiesty T. Higgins team. T. Higgins as the wide receiver 1 on this team. Really anchoring on Bijan. You can go Myers, you can go Laporta, we can go Debo. Khalil Shakir gives us kind of a base. And here's Zay or Chuba. Gibbs, we passed on. Did we pass on Chuba to get Zay? Forget what I did there. Let's get Chubasay. Let's get Zay. Love Zay. Alright, thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed. Love Zay Flowers. Thank you guys. Have a good one. I hope to see you guys next time. Hopefully, maybe tomorrow, maybe the next day. Draft another different type quarterback team. Today we did the elite QB with 2 other QBs. We grabbed a anchor wide receiver, but we also hit wide receiver or running back, anchor running back, but we also hit running back early. We got onslaughts at wide receiver, and then we pushed tight end. But go ahead and check out my Twitter at the Rafael Ibarra right here, or X. And thank you again. Bye, guys.